I might have missed it, but there's a tool that might help hypermobile patient that I saw no one talked about. So I'm gonna talk about it right now. For the French community, just for your information, I planned a video about that showing exactly how I completed the thing, what I think of it directly, and I translated all in French. But now it's not in French, it's in English. So if you don't understand that much English and you want to see it in French, wait a bit. So what is that tool? It is called the spider. Context: I was reading medical literature before sleeping, as someone does, and I found this paper called The Spider, a visual multisystemic symptom impact questionnaire for people with hypermobility related disorder, validation in adults. To summarize, they conclude that it's a good tool for adults, and they already had concluded that for teenagers. So after reading that, I was very excited. What is that questionnaire? And maybe it could help me. Maybe it could help my medical team. What is it? So I Googled it and I found it pretty quickly. And not only I found it, but there's an Excel tabular. If you don't know me, I am a big fan of Excel tabular, a really, really big fan. Because PDF is boring and Excel tabular, you can make things. I don't know the proper word in English, but basically they do the math for you. And because they do the math, the graph completes itself automatically. So it is very, very, very satisfying to see how it completes itself every questions. And at the end, when you completed all the questions, you can have a graph showing what are your most predominant symptoms related to hypermobility. And I was really like happy with it. I was a bit surprised of the results, but after thinking about it, it makes sense. And for me, there's multiple reasons why people should know about it and how it could help you. Number one, I feel for validation, both for ourselves and absolutely, Triskel. Hold on. We might have to do with the cat. He's happy and I don't feel to spoil his joy. So, number one, I feel like a lot of us don't value enough the intensity of our symptoms. We tend to say, oh, but that's not that much, that's not that much. And I feel that's a bias that could very be present when you answer the questionnaire because it's subjective. But at the end, when there's a graph, I feel like you might realize more easily, like, oh, it's a multisystemic issue that I have, and I have all those areas with problem, and I might have help for that. And it can also help for medical professionals that are not as good to understand that, oh, Ehlers loss is just having stretchy skin and hypermobility and sometimes a bit of pain and fatigue. It's more complicated than that. I'm saying Ehlers-Danlos syndrome, but it is about like any hypermobility related disorder, HSD, and other condition. I feel so. I feel one very very useful. Number two, I feel because when you answer the question, it's asked to answer them for the previous months. And that's for me a very good idea if you want to test stuff, if you want to test a new medication, if you want to test a new diet, test a new therapy, stuff like that. You can answer that questionnaire and see after a month, 3 months, 6 months, and do the questionnaire again and see how it changed to see if it improves, if it gets worse. Now, you can't solely with that make conclusion because living with HEDS, I know sometimes there's a lot of stuff that change and we can say, oh, it's because I ate that thing once. And it could be, but it could be because of other stuff too. But I feel it could be a useful tool to sometimes evaluate if therapy, if a medication, or if something is working. And not only working about the thing that we try to help with. Like, for example, if you take a new medication for pain, it might help for pain, but it might also help with fatigue. If, for example, you have pain insomnia, you don't sleep because of pain, your pain is better, you might have less fatigue, for example. Or for some reason, maybe it could act and help with your gastrointestinal issues. I don't, or it made them worse. I don't know. So I feel it's a really, really, really cool tool that people should know about. So yeah, if you want to try it, go. I hope that it helps you. I am very excited with that. Yeah, the downside is for one question, the math doesn't work. There's a problem with one cell, but I hope they will correct it. They plan to translate it in the future. They said that in the paper. So yeah, useful tool, I believe. So I wanted to share that with you. Okay, lots of spoons, everyone. Bye.